Good morning, doctor. My name is Dan Sitao and my register number is 271943. I come from Group 2. Today, we would like to present about the Brilliant Bookstore Warehouse case study. This table shows the table of entity and activity of sales order system by the Brilliant Bookstore Warehouse. We can know the entity involved is customer, sales clerk, computer program, warehouse clerk, billing clerk, and the account receivable clerk. This table shows the table of entity and activity of the cash receipt procedure of Brilliant Bookstore Warehouse. The entity involved is customer, mailroom clerk, account receivable clerk, cash receipt clerk, system, bank, and general ledger. Now let's move to the context diagram. For the sales order system, there are 4 external entities involved, which is customer, warehouse, billing department, and the account receivable department. Once the customer order sent to sales order system, the sales order system will send the stock release to warehouse and warehouse send back the shipping notice to system. And then, the billing department will use the shipping notice in the system to reconcile the sales order, and then send the invoice to customer. After that, the account receivable department will use the invoice that received from billing department to update the account receivable in system. For the cash receipt procedure, there are only 3 external entities involved, which is customer, bank, and general ledger. When the customer payment sent to the system will send the payment and the deposit slip to the bank. After that, the cash receipt on account system will update the cash receipt total to general ledger. Now let's move to the logical data flow diagram. This diagram combines the sales order system and cash receipt procedure in one diagram. And we can know, for the sales order system, there are involved 4 processes, which is the first, prepare sales order, second, pick goods, third, reconcile and bill customer, and final, adapt the account receivable. While for the cash receipt process, there are only a few processes involved, which is the first, receive payment from customer, and then post to cash receipt journal, then prepare the deposit slip, and after that, update general journal. Now let's move to the flow chart. This flow chart involves 7 departments, which is sales department, terminal, warehouse, billing department, mailroom, account receivable department, and cash receipt department. Now let's start from sales department. Once the customer order by the phone or email, the sales department clerk will enter the customer order manually to the system. While the customer place order online, their order will be automatically entered into the sales system. After that, the system will do the online credit check. After the sales is approved, the system will create a sales journal in the database. After that, the sales department will prepare sales order. The first copy of the sales order will be filed in the department. The second one will send to the A, which is the billing department. The third one will send to the warehouse. And the final one will send back to the customer as the notice that their order had been processed. Now let's look to the warehouse. Once the sales order comes to warehouse, the warehouse clerk will use it to pick goods and prepare the document, which is the packing slip and the bill of lading. After that, the sales order will be filed in the department, and then the packing slip and the bill of lading will send to the carrier with the goods. After that, the clerk will prepare the shipping notice manually. Now let's move to the billing department. In billing department, once they receive the sales order, they will use it to reconcile it in the system. After that, the billing department will file the sales order in the department, and then prepare 2 copies of the invoice. The first copy will send to the C, which is the account receivable department, and then another copy will send back to the customer as the bill. Now let's move to the account receivable department. Once the account receivable department receives the invoice from the billing department, they will update the account receivable and then file the invoice in the department. Okay, now let's move to the cash receipt procedure. Cash receipt procedure starts with the customer. When customer send their check and the remittance advice to the mailroom clerk will open and separate it. The remittance advice will be sent to the account receivable department, and the check was sent to the cash receipt department. When the account receivable department receives the remittance invoice, they will use it to update the account receivable and then file the remittance invoice in the department. Now let me move to the last part, which is the cash receipt department. When this department receives the check, they will use it to post to the cash receipt journal and then prepare the deposit slip. After that, send the check and the deposit slip to the bank for the deposit purpose. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Darshini, daughter of Sivakumar, and my metric number is 272470. Today I'm here to present about strength of internal control procedure that are present in BB revenue cycle. Okay, there are three strengths that are existed in the BBB revenue cycle. As we can see, the first one is segregations of duties in each department by Brilliant Bookstore Berhad. Okay, so by this, Brilliant Bookstore Berhad as well manage the system flow of the work which carry out in each department truly. Actually, by this, they can prevent fraud. The second one is Brilliant Bookstore Berhad as customized own platform which is a website for purchasing. So by this, they can reduce the chances of mix-up customers' orders. The second one, they can improve company advertising efficiency. The third one, easy to access new customer. So it's very convenient to the customers, and everything they can save their time, and everything in a few clicks it will show up in their electronic gadget. Okay, the third one is transaction of authorization control by the Brilliant Bookstore Berhad, which is the objective of transaction authorization is to ensure that only valid transactions is processed. So the authorization process in the sales function is credit check of the customer. Next, we will move to the next part, which is 5 possible weaknesses in BB revenue. Okay, if you can see, there are 5 type of possible weaknesses. The first one is the BB information is insufficient and there are high chances of human error. Okay, this is especially for order by phone call because there is no source of document from the customer. So the information from the customer might be insufficient and the sales department will be affected for the future process order. And human error might occur when the in-charge person manually key in the information. Okay, so the next one is inappropriate accounting records existed in the BB revenue cycle. Okay, the receipt of invoice from the billing department, apparently the account receivable and inventory control should use the departmental monitor or terminal clerk to post to the transaction respectively to the subsidiary ledger. But in Brilliant Bookstore Berhad, only account receivable clerk who responsibility to update the subsidiary ledger. So by this, they can misuse the source of the document. Okay. So the third one is inaccuracy of supervision in mailroom of Brilliant Bookstore Berhad. Okay, actually the responsibility of mailroom clerk is to prepare the remitted list or crash pre-list, and together with a copy of remitted advice should be sent to the account receivable department. Supposedly, okay, the mailroom should have 2 employees to open mail and proceed the customer payment. But however, in BB, only 1 clerk is responsible for the job of open the mail and separate the document. So the next one is lack of transaction authorization of the cash release. Okay, the clerk of Brilliant Bookstore Berhad is also unable to send the copy of remitted list to the account receivable department, cash receipt department and the general office. Consequently, the effect of existence of cash release is unable in providing proper verifications that the customer checks and remitted advice matches in the amount. Okay, the last and not least, Okay, warehouse and shipping are combined in Brilliant Bookstore Berhad. Okay, so from this we can see clearly that there's no responsibility in certain department. For example, there is no shipping department and shipping class. Therefore, the warehouse class holds a multiple of responsibility that might be burden them. Okay, this reconciliation is predominant control points, so which ensure that BB sends the correct products and quantity to the customer. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day. My name is Adi Aziman bin Effendi, metric number 272686, and today I'm going to present my part, which is risk exposure and internal control for the weakness in BBB's revenue cycle. First part of my presentation is the risk exposures resulted from the weakness in the BBB's revenue cycle. The first risk exposure is the insufficient information lead to incorrect information in the customer sales order. This refers to the weakness of the first weakness, which is the BBB information is insufficient and high chance of human error. Next, the second risk exposure is the clerks able to easily alter and manipulate account receivable and inventory control. This refers to inappropriate accounting records exist in BBB's revenue cycle. The third risk exposure is fraud can happen easily since there is no supervisor. This risk exposure refers to inadequacy of supervision in Malaysian in mailroom in BBB. The fourth risk exposure is the error will cause overstatement or understatement of account receivables. This risk exposure refers to the weakness, which is lack of transaction authorization of cash release, and the final risk exposure is the mistakes are likely to happen due to carelessness of the clerks having to handle two jobs at the same time. This refers to the weakness of the warehouse and shipping are combined in Brilliant Bookstores Berhad. The next part of my presentation is the appropriate internal control for the weakness in BBB's revenue cycle. The first internal control is to create basic backup for each document, which refers to the weakness. The BBB information is insufficient and high chance of human error. By creating this basic backup, they will able to keep track of their documents, so the information will always be sufficient for the company. The next internal control is hire supervisor in the department, which refers to the weakness, the second weakness, which is inappropriate accounting records exist in BBB's revenue cycle. Since the clerks is easily able to tamper with the data, so they need to hire supervisor to prevent such case from happening. The third internal control for BBB's revenue cycle is to hire more clerks in the department. This refers to the third weakness, which is the inadequacy of supervision in mailroom of BBB. Since the mailroom only hire one clerk to handle all the job, they need to hire more clerks, so to split or to distribute the burden among the workers in the mailroom to make their work more efficient and productive. The fourth internal control for BBB's revenue cycle is transaction authorization and file backup needs to be handled in the department. This refers to the fourth weakness, which is the lack of transaction authorization of cash release. And the final internal control for BBB's revenue cycle is to segregate duties between warehouse and shipping department, as well as hire a supervisor, which refers to the final weakness in BBB's revenue cycle, which is the warehouse and shipping are combined in Brilliant Bookstores Berhad. As both warehouse and shipping are used together, so this will create more work and more burden for the workers, and they have to handle those two jobs, which will cause them to have more mistake, to make more mistake, and there will be a lot of error occurring in the company. So by segregating the duties, by splitting those two to a different part, will help them work more efficiently. And by hiring a supervisor, they will mistakes, fraud, data manipulation, data altering can be prevented in the company. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, hello and hi everyone. I am Muhammad Shazwan bin Ishaq with my metric number 272870. So now I'll be presenting about the part B. Okay, in part B, I will discuss several ways of applying information technology to transform a businesses from conventional platform to a digital operating businesses operation, particularly in the aspect of revenue and expenditure cycle. Okay, first of all is the designing flexibility and speed. Okay, in order to cope with information technological transform, company need to improve their facilities, technology and plant to a new technology which is more efficient now. Is more efficient and less polluting, that now has been upgraded to a more efficient energy conserving, which means it will require less electrical energy that may causes less cost for the utility expenses. Okay. Secondly, the company need to foster innovation, which means in order to change to digital operating business, company need to build a platform where customers are easy to get in touch with more detail on the product. Company also need to have a friendly customer service that can assist the customer on the product at any time. By this, customer will have a better knowledge about the products and have a better trust on the company products. Okay. The third is the popular one, which is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the innovation of intelligent machine, but with a wider range of capability and speed, which have a lot more compared to a human being, what human being can do. Okay. Artificial intelligence effects nowadays has helped lots of company to develop more, as artificial intelligence like this will create a lower error rate and can work constantly without getting distracted or even sick. Okay. Apart from that, company behavioral change. Okay, this is especially among the workers of the different level. A better communication between the middle level worker and the lower level worker can create a trust and improve the responsibility for the lower level worker, as they be more appreciated if all the work done is valued. Apart from that, implementing flexible job responsibility like training the worker into a different department will improve their knowledge on more jobs. Okay, from this, the company can perform a mentoring program for a new worker and no need to take them into a week of training anymore. They can save a lot of cost on training the new workers. Okay. Last but not least, new transformations on information technology will change the business through digital operating business by a complete real-time records. Okay, this is mean by enhancement of the technology by implementing an online update about the progression of the goods by departments and also by batch. Okay, from this we can know about the percentage of goods that complete or the percentage of goods that are in progress and also the amount of defect goods. Okay, the amount of the defect good. Okay, from this we can know the strength and weaknesses of every department, and we can make improvement for the department that have the weaknesses. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you.